Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And many now agree that the iPhone 13 launch is going to be a big marketing muscle for T-Mobile. Last year was, many anticipated, the tipping point into 5G, and it ended up being just that for early adopters in the technology. A lot of people that were eager to get 5G, the enthusiasts, they got 5G iPhones, including me, others that make YouTube content on wireless. They jumped into the iPhone 12, and then others that are part of tech blogs and just wireless enthusiasts, period, they also got into the 5G technology on the iPhone 12. Now with the iPhone 13, T-Mobile will be much further along in their mid-band deployments this time around. So in the last year, their marketing was centered around 5G. The biggest, best, most reliable 5G network. I'm sure you guys have seen the commercials by now. And this iPhone 13 could push that marketing to another level. Not only on the marketing side, but T-Mobile could come in more aggressive on promotional offerings with this iPhone, being that their 5G network is now much, much larger and much, much faster with the with the mid-band 2.5 deployments. They'll be around the time that this iPhone launches, I predict around the October, November timeframe, they'll be knocking on the 200 million door. They'll get there. I still think at the end of the year, when they are anticipated to hit 200 million, I think they do 210, 220, in my opinion. I think that's where they end up. They just hit 300 million on low band, 6 months ahead of schedule. So by the end of year, they could be at 310, 320 as well, million covered. And I think these analysts have a good point. I think T-Mobile can really further drive into the market that they are the 5G leader. Verizon, they'll have C-band ready to be turned on by the time that iPhone launches. So the gap won't be as large anymore. But T-Mobile will still be much, much, much further ahead. Verizon is targeting 90 million covered by December with C-band. By that time, T-Mobile will have 210, 220 covered out the gates with mid-band 5G. So this iPhone 13 could be a pretty big deal for T-Mobile and, boost its stock. And of course, Apple could potentially also, help T-Mobile push that as well. I mean, T-Mobile is just really further ahead. They'll be the first likely to carrier aggregate standalone. They'll do voice over NR. They'll be the first to that. So they'll be first to many of those things because they got started ahead of the competition. So there's no denying that. T-Mobile will be first to standalone slicing, network slicing. They'll be first to the carrier aggregation on standalone between N71 and N41 spectrum. They'll be the first to most of it. And they've stated such at the Analyst Day. There's just nobody that can compete at that scale right now. Verizon will have to work through that and invest big to catch up. They want to be at 175 million covered by the end of 2022. They'll get there, but still it'll only be in the top 46 PEAs. They will have to wait till the end of 2023 for the spectrum, C-band spectrum, to clear outside of the top 46 PEAs. T-Mobile is well aware of that. Could Verizon get it cleared a couple of months ahead of time? Yes, that's a possibility. But I think T-Mobile is not taking any chances or risks. I think they're going to further drive their momentum, and they're going to push to get to 250, 300 million covered with mid-band around that same time. So they accelerated last year. They got to 100 million. Now they're accelerating again, getting to 200. So the reason it's going to take them longer to get from 2 to 300 is because there's less population to cover. So it's a more tedious process. They have more sites to touch now. Now we're talking getting into more smaller suburban and rural areas where 2.5 needs to be deployed to get to that 300 million. So that's an additional cost that they have to go through to get to those sites in, say they have to go through, a rural area, let's say Michigan, since we talked about that yesterday. So they have to go to those sites. Some areas they may need new sites, as stated yesterday, and others they may have to fully rip and replace the site that's existing to get it to 5G and mid-band. So they'll have to work through that. That last stretch is really a tedious process. Some sites may need to, transport fiber to it because it had microwave backhaul. So there's many scenarios that could end up taking T-Mobile a bit longer to get to the goal that they want to reach. But regardless of how it's going to turn out, they will be ahead of the competition. It's just by fact now. They just have more time. They had almost a year head start versus anybody. And then now that the others have spectrum, a mid-band layer, they can only get real busy in the top 46 PEAs, and that includes AT&T and Verizon. Can they deploy the equipment outside of the top 46 PEAs? Yes, they can do so. But they can't turn it on or flip the switch until December 2023 when it clears. So that's kind of where Verizon and AT&T are stuck. They can't really deploy outside of those markets because of the restrictions that it's not cleared. But some of the markets outside of the top 46 PEAs that are a priority to Verizon, where they have 40, maybe 50% share in that market, I'm sure they'll deploy the C-band ahead of time so they can just flip the switch when it's ready. I'm quite positive that they do that. But again, there's still a process of having to wait while T-Mobile has the spectrum already cleared and ready to go. Yes, there is some fragmentation on that 2.5, but I'm positive they'll be fixing that, and they'll be leasing to get some of that spectrum more contiguous. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Will T-Mobile set the stage for the next iPhone 13, being that they have much more 5G mid-band deployed now and speeds are increasing? Or do you guys think it'll be a muted quarter, even with the iPhone launching, to where not much movement? I mean, Verizon and AT&T have launched much stronger or strong promotions ahead of the iPhone launch. New and existing customers, $700 off on S21s. So they've both been aggressive. I mean, Verizon is doing broken phones, trade in, you get this $800 off. So they're doing that too. So now, how much more aggressive are they willing to get for the iPhone 13 launch? T-Mobile now is doing, I think, 4 iPhone 12 Pros for free if you switch. If I think I saw that this morning on one of their commercials. So I think T-Mobile wants to be out on the forefront on the iPhone 13. They want to have the most aggressive promos, but we will see. If you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.